Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of the Slightly Forgotten podcast. We're joined today with a familiar face, but first, just quick thanks to everyone who's listening so far, watching and sharing all the comments. To people who've reached out who want to be a part of the show, bear with me. I'll get in touch and we'll sort out a time. If anyone hasn't reached out but they do want to be a part of the show, then yeah, just get in touch and I'll get round to it, and we'll put you on. So yeah, like I say, familiar face. Welcome, Jamie. Welcome back, Jamie. Last time we obviously went and spoke about a broad spectrum of things, and went deep into some personal moments of your life. But you feel as though you've got more to share, so I believe you've got a list ready, and so yeah, over to you, mate. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I just thought last time that we spoke, actually, I just thought like it went down a bit of a path where it went, like you said, it went quite deep, didn't it? You just get taken on this path, don't you? I just thought there's a lot more. I certainly had a lot more funny times than what came out the last time. So I thought it'd be worth like telling a few stories that might make a few people laugh.
Yeah, no, I mean, we're all here for it. Funnily enough, after your episode came out, I got a message on Spotify. Like, I didn't even know you could send, similar to like friend requests and stuff, from a certain Sandra Stinson.
Mother.
Yeah, so I got it. I was dreading it. I thought, oh no, what have I done here? I thought I'd get some rollicking or something. Anyway, I messaged her. I said, hope you're well. Hope the family's all well. Hope you enjoyed the show. No response. So I'm not too sure how to take that, but yeah, I thought I'd let you know about that.
No, I'll let her know. Of course she'll respond. It's quite funny actually you say that, because can you remember how first Facebook must have first come out when like we were in the military? Because I remember like or it started getting popular or whatever, and then obviously me and you become mates, and I just started talking to your mum on Facebook.
Yeah.
we were like Facebook friends for years before I'd even met her.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? It's mad. Got a soft spot for you though, haven't you? So.
Funny, yeah, it's funny. Well, I'll be seeing her again soon, so we'll hope.
Yeah,
well, no, I won't, because I'm not coming up Blackpool, am I? But yeah, one day, soon again.
Soon again, yeah. Well, you've always got Facebook, haven't
you? Yeah. Very true.
So yeah, mate, like you say, the show's for you to share your stories. So it's over to you, mate. Where do you want to start?
Well, if anyone asks me like of a story, there's always one story that's always at the forefront of my mind, and it was during a op in Iraq in 2003, what they call Gulf War II, and I mean, God, blimey, this is going back a long way now. So we were looking after our job when the conflict kicked off in 2003 was to go over from Ali Al Salem into Iraq and look after the gas to oil separation plants, which were these big like factories. And it was originally looked after by the Gurkhas, and we went and took over from them. The reason we had to go in there was because I think the threat of when Saddam obviously knew we was going to go in and take them out, we were worried that he was just going to go in there and destroy all his oil infrastructure. So that would be like his nasty thing against us, wouldn't it? So we went in to look after the gas to oil separation plants. There's quite a few stories that come out there. It was, to be fair, the job was pretty mundane and boring. There was no threat from anyone. We were well out of like the cities where it was all going on, and it was just a case of like setting up observation posts at these places and looking out, making sure no one was coming towards them. But anyway, so like I say, it's pretty mundane, pretty boring, not a lot going on. You have to excuse me, I'll have a quick drink. So I think we did it something like 2 or 3 months. We had to live on ration packs for the whole time. You're only supposed to eat ration packs for 2 weeks. But yeah, we was on the whole time. Lost. I remember we lost a lot of weight actually.
Yeah, I couldn't eat them for 2 days.
No, it's a fair one, isn't it? So anyway, out of our side of our GOSP on this main road on the outside, American call signs used to go past every so often. So we'd run out, or we had a PVCP, permanent vehicle checkpoint, out the front. And what we'd do is we'd stash some boxes, or we'd keep some boxes pretty nearby and run out when these American call signs would come past with all our British rations. And we'd swap them with their American MREs. So we've got like a bit more variety of change of food. And theirs were, I'm not going to say theirs was better than ours, but there was a lot more variety in there anyway.
Theirs was better than ours.
So British ration pack. Got like a little tin cooker. Got your hexamin blocks. Break up your hexamin blocks. Set them alight. Get your metal tin. Water in. Boil the water up. Put your boil in the bag in your food, and then that's how we'd cook our ration packs. American MREs, if you remember, plastic bag, chemical agent at the bottom. Put your boil in the bag in a plastic bag. Top it up with water. Fold the plastic bag over. Chemical agent have a reaction. Water would boil. You sit there watching it boil. That's your food cooked. That was the difference between cooking the MREs. So, like I say, the op was pretty boring. So, bored gunners are dangerous gunners, the old average saying. So we used to get a 2 litre bottle, get all these cookers out of these MRE boxes, get the chemical agent, pour it all in this bottle, top it up with water, put the lid on, called an MRE bomb. You'd see these plastic bottles. I develop all these shapes and sizes. And then, of course, we'd do things like strap them to lads, see how long you can take it, before it blows up. I mean, Matt Colwell, bless his soul, he's not here anymore, but the older lad strapped one to him and made him stand against the wall. And when it blew up, his skin literally folded up. He had like these burns all down his front. It was horrendous. Anyway, so it's one night in the deep, and funny enough, Ed Dye come down the other day. I don't know if I told you or not. Ed Dye come down the other day. I think I sent you a picture, didn't I? So
yeah.
Shout out, say hello to Ed Dye. And we were talking about how sound travels at night. You don't realise like how far sound travels at night, do you? So these goths they're not massive. I mean, I don't know, talking like, kilometre by kilometre, like either way. So one of the lads, back then, women weren't allowed on the front line, but one of the lads' wives used to send like care packages, and she had sent these huge boxes. I mean, they were amazing. So we used to send, when we was on this GOSP, every couple of weeks or so, we'd send a convoy back to Kuwait to pick up our mail and stuff like that. And we'd sometimes get like fresh food come back. They'd load the trucks up with fresh food and come back, and it's like once every couple of weeks we get a bit of fresh food. Anyway, these care boxes turned up where one of the bloke's wives had thought there was women with us. So she's put in there, you know, like tampons, sanitary towels, toothbrush, toothpaste, you know, like women's deodorant and all this sort of stuff. And anyway, in there, cans of hairspray, right? Litre cans of hairspray. So in the middle of the night at this GOSP, we've got like 4 roles that we're doing at this GOSP. We've got like patrols that are going out up and down this main road out the front, literally up, down a main road, do a couple of turns and come back. We weren't allowed to go far because the place was just mined everywhere. Definitely weren't allowed off on hard standing. PVCP, QRF, which stayed right at the front gate. As you go into camp, we had like down this little road, we had an underground like electrical system. That's where all like the electrical components of the oil plant. That's where we slept because it was cooler underground. And as you carried on into this GOSP, you had these big oil silos, like these massive things. Up the stairs, we'd set up an OP on top of the oil silo. You could see for miles, and at the night you'd watch the oil fires cook off. It was just incredible. So you had OPs up there, off admin, QRF, PVCP, and patrols. Yeah, I can't. Might have been more. I can't remember. But anyway, that's the gist of it. So we'd do these jobs for like 2 days at a time. Every 2 days, you do your handover takeover. as you go around the different jobs. So we're doing this handover takeover, and then there was an admin corporal, Corporal Elvidge. Don't know if you can remember him, but
No, I don't think
he
so.
saved my life. Anyway, as this handover takeover was going on, these auxiliaries that used to come out and top up the lads, top up the numbers for us, they were making these. They were obviously bored. As these handover takeovers going on, they were making these MRE bombs. So handover takers going on. I'd moved from whatever I'd moved off of. I went on to admin. So I was down the admin area where these lads were making these bombs. And in this admin area, we had 2 5-gallon drums. We'd had an admin fire going in. So like all your old ration pack papers and all paperwork and whatever, boxes for anything in there. Get the fire going, just get rid of it. So these 2 lads that were making these MRE bombs, plastic bottles, filled them up, chucked them out somewhere and thingy. We all sat and watched. Poof, poof. Had a little, yeah, nice one. Off they go on to their next job. Left me behind on admin. At the time, there's a lad there called Brownie. I stood back with him. Me and him were quite close at the time. We used to have a bit of a laugh. So I said to Brownie, I said, "You want to see a bomb? I'll show you a bomb." So I've got these 2 cans of hairspray and chucked them in the admin fire. Didn't think anything of it. Right? I could not believe the explosion that came out. It was like an HE round. It was unbelievable. It went boom. It was, the pressure of it was that big. These oil guns. It concertinaed these metal drums. The explosion and the fire went up into the air. I've never seen a mushroom cloud. Right? It was a green and blue mushroom cloud that just went up, right? And I have absolutely shit. I was just like, Brownie was a bit older, right? He stayed cool as a cucumber. Had a landline telephone we had from HQ that ran all the way down to the admin point. There's PVCP right out the front. The OP's called it in on the radio that we're taking incoming.
Oh my
We're taking incoming down at the admin place. I've gone, I can't handle this. So I've run down into our accommodation underground, got into my sleeping bag and just got my zip and just gone like that and froze underneath the sleeping bag, hoping it goes away. The landline telephone's going off and all I can hear is Brownie on the end of the telephone. Absolutely cool as a cucumber. Give it, "Sir, honestly, I don't know what you're talking about. I've not seen anything down here." Right. So anyway, I'm under this sleeping bag. I've heard this Land Rover screech to a halt at accommodation. Doors slammed. Flight sergeant at the time's got out, and he was Irish. I mean, he's Irish. I mention any names, but he was like, the first thing he said is, "If I find out that's fucking Stinson, I'm gonna go fucking mad." And then, luckily, what saved my life was Corporal Elvidge, who was doing the checking the handover takeover. He come back in a Land Rover. Another Land Rover screeched up, got out, door stand. All I've heard is, it's all right. I know exactly what it is. It was the 2 lads making MRE bombs on the handover takeover." I remember, I've never heard bollock. He's like, "Get them 2 down here now." Oh. They got the biggest bollocking ever.
So did he think it was them? Did he actually think it was them? Or
yeah, he did. Yeah, they did. Yeah. So this was the thing. So in the morning, so I'm like, instantly I've gone, cool. That was a close one. Gone up, shot up to Brownie, had a quick chat with him and a laugh about it. Come back down to accommodation and eventually got my head down. Got up in the morning. These 2 lads, they were ripped off. They were ripped off work. Right. They were like, it's almost like you're in school. They were sitting out by accommodation, like literally with their head in their hands. I walked out, I was like, "What the fuck's the matter with you 2?" And I was like, "I can't work it out. We only made these MRE bombs." That story was kept a secret for years. It was kept a secret for years. And then it wasn't until, I think, we did another op in Iraq, 2007. The lads had a really bad time. Me and Brownie went out and told that story to the lads. on flight sergeant. There's another flight sergeant came up behind us and he clipped me on the back of the head. He goes, "I fucking knew." He's like, "I fucking knew that was you." He's like, "I knew that was you." So yeah, that was yeah, funny, mate. Very,
So
very funny.
did Brownie ever call you about it, or did he just sweep it under the carpet till 07?
No. But Brownie was older, but he was at the time, like, we were both LACs or like SACs. We were brand new, so it weren't ready for us to call. It was just a funny story, that it was just something that happened that, you know, I mean, if they had found out that was me straight away, I think I'd have been going home. I was not liked. I was not liked at the time. I wasn't a very good. I mucked about a bit too much back then. Didn't take it
So,
seriously.
well, you mentioned it last time, didn't you? Like immaturity and stuff like that.
Yeah. I wasn't very well liked at the time. But cool, that was a
carried
close
on.
shave. So another one, like another one as well. At this oil plant, like, you used to have these massive oil pipes that used to come out of the ground. Like, they were, I don't know, couple of foot by a couple of foot, I'd say, like foot and a half or whatever. And they'd come out up to like knee height. So, like I said, back in the first one, brought up on a farm. I've always been driving tractors and stuff like that. I was quite a good driver. So that was my job out there. I was driving. And then we'd park in this admin area. We had like this shed where we'd park all the Land Rovers. So one morning, I had to park all these trailers up straight. We had a visit from someone coming round. Brownie, with a couple of lads over there giving us a hand, like hitching up and reversing them into place and da-da-da-da-da. Anyway, Brownie got in a Land Rover, started slinging it around the desert, right? He stuck it in reverse. I think we were all in, a couple of us were in there, all mucking about, just like doing donuts and stuff, not thinking anyone's watching. Well, no one really was watching. Anyway, he stuck this Land Rover into reverse, and we're doing this reverse donut, and all of a sudden it's just gone bang, come to a massive stop. He's hit one of these big oil pipelines that have like come out of the ground. So he's hit the axle underneath the Land Rover. So he's caused no damage, no like visible damage. You can't see it. The next day, we're walking around the Land Rover thinking there's got to be damage somewhere. We're going to have to report this, because if not, if we get caught without reporting it, then we're going to be in more trouble. It's like quicker just to own up in it. So we've gone around. We did notice something, but we didn't realise quite how bad it was. So Brownie was just like, that'll be all right. We'll just leave it there. So anyway, next day, we've got this convoy that I told you about going back down to Kuwait to pick up like mail and fresh hesh and stuff like that. This Land Rover that we've reversed into this pipe is being used on this convoy, and it's the last vehicle. So down HQ in this long road, they've lined up like 3, 4, 5 vehicles. And it's one vehicle that sat at the back that we didn't realise where he's hit the axle. It's moved the whole axle, and the vehicle is actually going along the ground, facing like the 10 o'clock position. So it's like a crab crawling along the ground. So because we've not reported it, but it's turned up on the back of this convoy. The sergeant's come out and he's gone, "What the fuck's happened to that vehicle?" we had to admit it. He's like, "That cannot go to Kuwait looking like that." Oh, so yeah, funny things like that. Me and another lad, Jed Smart, say hello to him. I've not seen him in years. Do you remember the drills of a GPMG?
Yeah. Well, vaguely, yeah. I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah. So to clean the GPMG, obviously you go through NSPs, don't you? And then I can't remember now. But then when you put it back together, obviously you bring the working parts that are in, you fire off the action, don't you, to make sure the working mechanism all works all right. And you have to put the barrel on when the working parts are pulled to the rear. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
If you remember it. Right. So anyway, PVCP. I mean, this is what we used to do, actually. PRR headset, radio PRR, for people that don't know. Headset, you can all talk to each other with your little button. So we used to have, where the road used to come out at T-junction, we'd have a vehicle checkpoint on one end, vehicle checkpoint on the other end. And there'd be 4 of us under this little wooden shack with sandbags that we'd made, looking down this road. for hours and hours at a time. So what we used to do is, back in the days of the old CD players, the old Walkmans, we'd press a button on the headset and play our earphone into the microphone, and then we'd all be sitting there like listening through the PRR to music on the PVCP. I mean, the amount of times that we listened to Linkin Park, that's one of the albums that I know word verbatim all the way through. Anyway, going back to what I was saying, we'd swap the GPMG out with I don't know, another GPMG down at the Goss to clean these ones that are on the point, because we've got an officer visit coming round and we want to make sure everything's clean and tidy. So we've given the GPMG to one of the lads. I'm not going to say his nickname, but it wasn't very nice. But this nickname obviously proved that he wasn't very intelligent, right? So he's taken it down to the Goss to clean it. Now, when he's given it back, he's not released. He's done his NS. He's obviously put the barrel back on, but he's not released the working part. So that gun is in a ready state.
Oh my God!
This is horrendous, right? He's brought it back to the PVCP. We've stuck it on the table, which is facing down this road, and we've only chucked a belt on it, shut the lid, shut the top tray, and it is sitting there in a ready state. Now, if you remember, when you hand
over, you're supposed to do the checks again, though, aren't you?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, true, but I think so. It had been put. So I think if I remember rightly, so what he's done is he's put it back. And we've done like a change on the PVCP well, and we've come down. And you're right, and probably we should have done it then as well. I can't remember how it happened, but it was I can't remember how it worked out. But anyway, we put a belt on and we put the lid shut. Or there was a belt on it. Anyway, if you remember, you couldn't use a safety catch unless it was cocked either, right?
I can't remember that.
If it's not cocked, it won't fire, so you don't need a safety catch. If it's cocked, you put a safety catch on. So anyway, this gun is in a ready state, right? And we've got this officer visit coming round. And it's a DSC, Deputy Squadron Commander. And me and Jez are standing there, and Jez is behind the gun. And the DSC has literally gone, lads, right, let's get you in a good position then, look Gucci. So Jez has got the gun in his shoulder with his finger on the outside of the trigger housing, and the DSC's walked right up to the barrel and taken a photo like this. He's got, and anyway, he's gone, right? We didn't realise that this gun, one touch of that trigger, we're putting like 10 rounds through this DSC's face, right? Right? He's gone. Me and Jez are left there. For whatever reason, I've got the gun and I've just tapped, or I've put my hand on the cocking handle. And if it's cocked, it's at a loose. It's really loose and it's moved. And I've looked. I've gone, what? I thought, what? And I've grabbed it again. I've immediately grabbed the top tray. I went, Jez. He went, yeah. I said, that fucking gun is made ready. He went, what? I went, the fucking gun with rounds in it is made ready and it's not in a safe state. And the DSC's just taking a picture of you with his face right in front of the barrel. Jez has just, because Jez was a sweat then, like a senior lad. He's gone fucking ape shit. Anyway, you can imagine what unfolds. He's like straight on the PRI. He's like, get fucking nickname, get him ready. He's on a way out. I'm coming down there to fucking go mad. He give him a hell of a bollocking. Anyway, I reckon we spent about a month just me and Jez talking to each other, and I was just like, so Jez, talk me through what you'd actually done if you'd have pulled the trigger. And you don't realise, like, for months on end, how much you can talk about. He's like, I'd just drop everything, grab my passport and start walking. But yeah.
It just shows you that, though, doesn't it? Like the level of responsibility there, like how much and how, you know, I mean, how quick a life could change your head.
19 years old. I'm standing next to him. He's probably mid-20s, late 20s at the time.
God,
you're still kids, aren't you?
Still
kids.
That's it. Like I say, the level of responsibility there, because it's not even a joke, is it? You know, like you say, 10 rounds.
That's insane. Yeah, so I remember that. Yes,
If he ever hears this DSC,
he'll remember that. That's something me and him never forget it. Whenever I saw it, I mean, it was a shame. After like obviously you're supposed to do 3 lads on a squadron, and then like you all get posted, don't you? And like as lads were getting older and getting promoted, like it's always like the changing of the guard. Like old lads go and new lads come in, and then there's a rotation of lads, aren't there? It's a shame actually, because when the lads left the squadron, who I'd done a lot with, they left, and it weren't very often that I got to see like Jez and lads like that. Yeah, but it was funny.
Yeah, you quickly lose touch, don't you?
Yeah, that's it. Loads of little things. I was telling a story last night. Like one of my favourite parts of the day used to be like eating dinner at night, because you'd all come down from the squadron. There'd obviously be like all 50, 60, 70 of you in one hall, all like eating your dinner together. I just remember like the old laughing, like you'd laugh and like the elbows would go up. Well, you're elbowing your mate, and then like it would go round the table, and they were like, it would go like round the table. So I remember like a mate of mine, he was eating, got food on his chin. So like all of a sudden, the elbow's gone up. It's all going around the table. He's got food on his chin. The lad sitting opposite, it's like, he's like, what are you all laughing at? You're driving me nuts. The lad's like wiping his mouth, like saying what this lad's like, didn't realise he's doing. He's wiping sauce down his face. So it's like, the elbow's going up, and it's all going back around. Just like little things like that were just like, that was like fun all the time. That was like a daily occurrence, like stuff like that. But it was like barrel, on your back, belly laughing.
Yeah. I remember one time we'd just got onto the squadron, and I think we were down in Hyde and Lyd or something for a range. Anyway, we were all in one of the messes, like say, the whole squadron was.
Yeah.
For some reason, they got people to start making jokes. And I don't know like jokes off the top of my head or anything like that. And so they were going round all the new LACs, me being one of them. And I was just like, oh my fucking God, if I don't say something funny here, it's going to be well embarrassing. Anyway, people who like know a few jokes from comedians or whatever are like spewing them out. And then it comes to me, I can't remember who it was, but he gave me one. And it was to take the piss out of the sergeants. I was like, oh, this is going to get me in some shit here. But I had nothing else to say, so I had to come out and say it. But I was absolutely bricking it, like. And then all the other SACs and corporals all pissing themselves because I've been fucking made to do this. Like, but yeah, that always sticks in my mind. But yeah, it's quality in it. Like you say, little things just become bigger things, and it's hilarious.
I mean, we didn't do this in later years, but in the hangar, you used to have fucking hedge cutting equipment, right? So you'd have a helmet with like the visor, and then you have like a mini chainsaw in there. It's like part of, I don't know, it's part of your operational.
Not a good idea, that.
part of your operational equipment anyway. So the old lads used to get us young lads to put this, get the helmet on, visor down with a chainsaw. We got these big gloves on as well, and then they'd write on a note of paper, and they'd go right with your helmet and your visor down and your chainsaw, and you can't say no. You've got to do what they tell you to do, through fear of getting a kicking. Well, and they give you this bit of paper. Off you go into the sergeant's office, hand him that bit of paper. As soon as you're done, just come back, will you? Yeah, nice one. So helmet on, visor down, chainsaw in hand, and written on this bit of paper that you're handing to a sergeant in his office. If you don't give me the week off next week like I've requested, I'm going to saw the fucking legs off your desk. So another corporal. This corporal was feared among the many on squadron because he's a bit of a. He let his voice be known, shall we say that? Being political. So on when you used to start ops, if you remember, when you first got out on ops, you had to take your weapon into the desert and you have to go and zero it up against a target. Remember? And it used to be like a bit. It was like a planned mission operation to go do a range, wasn't it? So every flight has their day. It's a full day's work to go out and do this. So before you go out, you're given your weapon number. When you get out there, it's put in a roll. When you get out there, weapons unrolled. Give your weapon number over. Collect your weapon. Range day. Off you go for a full day in the searing hot heat in Iraq. Zero your weapon. Back you come. Your weapon's ready for ops. So I, being me, forgot my weapon number after I've rolled it. I've gone out there, give another weapon over, and accidentally zeroed someone else's weapon.
Oh my
So
God.
it created this is what I was like. It created a whole another day's worth of work of a mission where you had to go out and zero another weapon. Not only zero another weapon, but this other lad had to re-zero his weapon. And
Oh,
like I got absolutely hammered for this, right? Big bollocking. I was on HQ flight at the time. I was removed from HQ flight because I was so angry at what I'd done and put onto support weapons flight under this certain corporal, right? And the reason that they put me with this certain corporal was because basically I needed straightening out. Unbeknown to them, though, me and this corporal ended up getting on really well because I was explaining this to Ed the other night, I really like being clean and tidy in everything that I do. So if I walk into a room, first thing I do is clean and tidy it. Big thing with him was his admin, and he likes being clean and tidy. So we actually, little things like that used to go a long way with corporals and sergeants, and we actually ended up getting on really well. Anyway, this certain corporal had these eyes, right? Like very scary eyes. If he's about to explode, you know he's going to go because his eyes would just widen out and the whites of his eyes would come out of nowhere. So a couple of stories that went along with him that are quite funny. What was the one I was going to say? So when we first got out into Iraq, into our tent, he would, obviously with all the experience that he's got, he would scuttle off and go and steal everything from everywhere to make his bed space and his time in this horrible 8-man tent that we'd sleep in a lot more comfortable, a lot better. So he would come back with big fans that he'd just put on himself and we'd be like fuming that he's got a Jack fan, keeping cool while we were all sweating our tits off in a tent in 50-degree heat. He'd find himself, I don't know, he'd go to like the naffy and get himself a good duvet set, or he'd get himself a nice chair and he'd just set all his thing up, all like prim, proper and perfect, where me, inexperienced, I just use the basic stuff that you've got, lived like a pauper for 6 months. Anyway, obviously, being a corporal and an older corporal as well, you don't touch his stuff. So as the op's gone on, a couple of months into the op, you're getting a bit braver with him. So you start pushing the boundaries a little bit with him, seeing how far you can push him. He's got his chair. He's got this chair that he's got outside his fly net that faces out down the room, that when he comes in or he's finished his work for the day, he'll come in, sit on that chair, read a book, do a bit of sewing on his kit or whatever that he would do, and clean his weapon, do a bit of admin, nice, calm and quiet, but he'd love to sit in this chair. Never ever seen anyone else sit in this chair. So when we used to go out on patrol in multiples, because a multiple made up of 3 fire teams, 12 men, if an officer or a sergeant came in to take control of the multiple, one lad would get to stand down. So they've gone out on this patrol one night. I'm stood down, sat in the tent on my own, reading me magazine with my thumb up my arse, right? Thinking, what could I do? So I've decided to go sit in this corporal's chair. I don't tell a lie. I've gone and had a shower, wrapped my towel around me, and I've decided to go sit in his chair, reading a magazine like Nuts and Zoo, like we used to get out there. I've fallen asleep in his chair. He's come back off patrol, and he's the first one to walk in the tent. And if you remember these tents, you'd zip from the bottom, and it'd be like up overhead height. Can you remember the tents like that? Like
I remember
I
remember what
you know
were,
what I mean, yeah?
Yeah.
So when you're in the room, you'd hear this zip, zzz, go all the way over. I've just come back round, instantly gone, oh, fuck. He's the first face that walked in. Now, what was funny about this corporal was it took him 2 or 3 seconds to engage with what's going on. He had like a bit of a delay switch on him. So he'd come in, he'd like have a look, and then the eyes would go. And then in 3 seconds, it's like, like if you stub your toe, it takes 3 seconds for the pain to get to your head. He's like got a delay switch like that. So it's like in, have a look. I've realised in a second, I'm like, oh, fuck. His eyes have gone. And he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck are you doing sitting in my chair? Because my legs are open with a towel on, my fucking balls. My balls are hanging out. And all the lads are coming in afterwards. They're cracking up laughing instantly. And he's like, your fucking balls, your fucking balls are touching my fucking chair. And I'm up instantly. I'm like, sorry, corporal. I think I like had to go and run outside, run and do a few laps of the football pitch with a box of water on me for like 20 minutes or something.
In a towel.
In a towel, yeah. Yeah, it was funny, mate.
Why was he so precious on the chair then?
Not chair. He was precious with everything. He was just one of these guys you didn't touch. He was pretty brutal, to be honest. He's a pretty brutal bloke. But anyway, going back to that, where he used to go out in multiples and one lad used to get stood down. I mean, where he was so brutal, he was very easy to wind up. So I just used to, if there's a lad like he didn't particularly get on with, like if we were just sitting quiet one day, to make the rest of the lads laugh, all I'd do is just whisper this lad's name into his ear, and then we'd get like a half an hour story about how he's going to beast him the next time he sees him, and it would just make us laugh. So I used to wind him up like that. So anyway, back to the story of when we used to go out on patrols, and one lad was stood down. We got back off this patrol one night, and I'm in one of my moods. I've obviously had a can of Mountain Dew or something. And I said to the lads, I said, "Oi, Matty Whittle," I'll say hello to Matty Whittle. Matty Whittle's in the tent in there on his own. I said, and it's like in the dead of the night. I was like, I'm going to go stitch him up before we all get back in the tent. So like, remember what I said, like this corporal is very, very clean and cleanliness. And so I've run into this tent where dead of the night, Matty Whittle's asleep in bed, like asleep on his cot bed. So I've grabbed the Nuts magazine, opened it up, laid it on his chest, run to the toilet, got a bog paper, and put all like bits of wet bog paper like all around the floor and all running through the tent. So I'm pissing myself, like he's still asleep with his mag laid down on his chest. I'm pissing myself laughing before I've even got out to I said, lads, I stitched him up. I said, you watch this. I was like, I won't mention his name, but this corporal's going to go fucking bonkers when he walks in there. So he's come in. We've all gone in quick. He's come in, and I've give it. I think you need to go and have a look in Matty's bed over there. So he's come in, put his stuff down. We're all tired, knackered from a 4-hour patrol. He's gone over, looked at Matty, opened his little thingy net. Matt's still asleep, and he booted his bed and give it. What you been doing, Matt? Matt woke up with his mag on it, looked at his bog paper, and he's gone. He's shaking his head like this. And his call was like, "You've been knocking one out. Why we've not been here?" You can only imagine the lads around the tent. We're on our backs, absolutely pissing ourselves with laughter. Matty was an older lad, so he got up and he just like shook his head. He's like, "No, corporal." But yeah, stuff like that. It's very, very, very funny when you're under the pressure cooker of an environment where you've got to live so close together. You do get.
You need that respite, don't you? You definitely need something like that. Yeah, I mean, did he ever find out it was you that?
Yeah, I told him straight away. There's only one person it was ever going to be, wasn't it?
I did a thing during basics where you have all your kit inspections and stuff.
Yeah.
What was it? Is it DKP powder?
Yeah. You're
decontaminated powder for NBC.
Yeah.
Someone had thrown. I can't remember if they'd thrown like a Johnny on my on all my kit just before the inspection, but I was fuming, and I ended up filling it full of DKP, and I ended up throwing it on one of the lads' kit just before inspection.
Yeah.
Anyway, they obviously got reested, but it's just it's one of those things, isn't it?
So you funny you say that.
If it's not happening to you, then you're doing it to somebody else, aren't you?
Exactly. So can you remember back on basics, like basic training, when you'd stand at the end of your beds before you get inspected? Like the only thing you could move when you're at tension's your fucking eyes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Something like that. Right. So the night before, we've had a Pringles lid and we're lobbing it around as a frisbee around the room. And then one of the lads, Ridley, he stayed like right in the corner. And as everyone's got their head down, I've got this Pringle lid and just fucked it off into the end of the room. It's gone under his bed. And before inspection in the morning, he's not realised that it's there. But if you remember, the bit that I do remember is when at your end of your beds and you stood at attention, the only thing you can see is because they're walking behind you inspecting your bed, you can't see what they're doing. the only thing you can see is the bed spaces and the lads in front of you, can't you?
Yeah.
Well, I was opposite. So this corporal's gone into his bed space and there's in this Pringles in under his bed. Well, basic training, you remember how mental they used to go? That's like your bed over, wardrobe over, stuff's going out the window. All this is happening behind him, and all I can do is just like with my eyes, he's just like look at he's like looking at me with his eyes down the room to say when this is over, me and you are going to have it. Yeah, stuff like that's funny.
People like underestimate what you like have to go through with that, because you literally, it's an all-night job, isn't it? Yeah, it's an all-night job, and then you get all that done.
We were talking about that last time, weren't we? Like, I used to wake up in the morning. Well, didn't wake up. I've been awake all night just from like ironing socks and stuff like that. I could not iron for nothing. So yeah, when you've got that going on behind you, like it is literally your life is being ripped apart behind you of all the work you've done the night before just because someone's lobbed the Pringles lid under your bed.
When I got to grips with it all, I loved it, because I like being a senior man. I got to see everyone just torn apart, and it was so hard not to like break down laughing.
Yeah.
You know, because you're seeing it, and you just know that they're going to make a beeline for certain people. Like, every day it's just like new excuses, new stories, and you're just like fucking hell. But yeah, it's all part and parcel.
Yeah, that's it. I can't remember any more. God, loads. Remember basic training? You used to get like your civvy locker at the end by the door.
Yeah. Oh no, we had all the new blocks, didn't we? When I joined up, so we had them all amongst it in like little units and stuff. But yeah, then they'd start like searching through your civvy stuff. And you're like, why?
Well, unless it was, our rule was when we were on training, unless it was locked. If you locked it, they're not allowed to go into your civvy locker.
I don't think we had locks.
Yeah,
I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
So when you walked into our room, we had an 8-man room. Obviously, four on the right, 4 on the left, down a long room. Inside the door on the left and the right hand side, you had these white boxes with a lock on and a padlock. If they were locked, you're not allowed to go in them. You're not allowed to go in them. One lad we had, brave as fuck. Before inspection, he's only gone and got in his locker, and we've locked it up for him. So we're getting inspected, and this one lad's missing. The corporal's walked in straight away. He's gone, where the fuck is blah blah blah? We've gone. He's had to go down to med centre, corporal. It's not in a good way. And he's in this fucking locker. He's in this fucking locker. And his corporal's gone, if anyone else, I need to fucking know about it. He goes, when he gets back here, he better fucking stand by, because he was in for another one. So we've gone through all this inspection, and there's like it's about what, half an hour a room, like where they're going through. And he's in this white locker, quiet as a mouse. As soon as he walks out, we've unlocked it, and he's crawled out the locker. He's like, I better go tell him I'm back from the med centre. But fucking hell, that was brave.
What the hell? Yeah, I was going to say, how the hell did you get away with that?
We used to get back off the piss. And funny enough, this was Colin as well, Ridders. Hello, Ridders. We got back off the piss, and this was like right towards the end of the course. We moved we all got he was pissed, like in bed, out a bit of sleep. So we've walked into his room, got his wardrobe, turned it over, moved it out into the corridor, and we've made his bed space up exactly identical, but out in the corridor. And then the last thing we've obviously moved is we've all got around his bed while he's asleep on his bed and moved it out the door and put it in the corridor. We've even like stuck his photos up on the wall, like around, like he had in his bed space.
My God.
His bed space. So we've all gone to bed that night, and there are lads that are like walking in down the corridor, and Vidders is asleep in his bed space in the corridor. just stuff like that he used to walk in. That was just so bonkers. What we used to do when we were bored was, very, very.
I was going to say, I'm amazed you had the time to do it.
Cool. We've done.
How the hell did he not know?
Oh, because he was hammered. We got him.
He was
pretty. We used to get ourselves into some rum states, didn't we? I remember Matty Colwell, bless him, not here anymore. We went out on a night to the beach nightclub, in when we were down in Newquay, and he was a funny character. Lip, yeah, went out for a night in the beach nightclub. Lip was a funny character, and then there we are. All, whatever. All lads are all in different places in the nightclub, talking to the girls or whatever you do. And then you look over on the dance floor, and Lip is laid out flat on his back, literally with one leg in the air, shaking like a shitting dog, pretending to have an epileptic fit on the floor. But he's doing it. He's doing it for that long that the dance floor starts clearing. The DJ's seen it, and the DJ's got on the microphone. He's given it. Can we get security to the dance floor? Someone's having a bit of an episode. So the security's walked in, and as soon as they've got there, he's just bolted straight upright and walked off. But it stopped the music, and everyone's cleared the dance floor. And us lads are just crying with laughter. But yeah, it's funny. I'll see if I've got another quick one to get it in quickly. This wasn't actually when I was in. This is after I'd left, but I'd gone back down to Cornwall to see some of the old lads in the central pub down there, which was one of the main pubs in the street. back when Guitar Heroes was popular. Remember Guitar Heroes? Yeah. When it was popular, so this one pub, the Central, had TV screens all up around like the ceiling, or like right high up in the sky, like loads of TVs around the edge of the bar, around the edge of the pub. And what they used to do on a karaoke day was they'd have down at the stage and by the DJ booth, they'd have like all the Guitar Heroes guitar, the drums. They'd have a couple of microphones. I can't remember if there's like a keyboard or something. Anyway, there was a couple of bits of kit instruments down there that would go along with the Guitar Hero set. So they'd do a karaoke song, then they'd do a Guitar Hero set, and as you're hitting the notes, that would come on the TV screens all around the bar, and then everyone sitting down there getting pissed up, and that would be watching the TV. It was clever, to be fair. Yeah, it got very popular. So Sunday night was a Guitar Heroes night. Now on the stage, behind like this little foot-high stage. Behind the stage was a DJ box. In the front corners were two massive speakers that went out into the pub. And then there was a bit of a seating area, and then up the other end was like the bar with all the TV screens, right? So Sunday night, loads of us lads are in there. One of the lads has put our names down on a bit of paper. We're going to go do a Guitar Hero song. So we all go, there's three of us, me, Abs and Mouse. Hello to Abs and Mouse. So we go down on stage. We've got this group of girls with us that we're showing off in front of us. There's a table of girls next to the DJ booth. So I'm lead singer. Mouse has got another mic, and he's like got another bit of kit and equipment as well. I can't remember. Or he's at the front. I'm to the right. I'm next to this table of girls. And Abs, he's a guitar. He was training on the real guitar at the time. He had the guitar in the corner. Abs, quite a quiet reserve lad, but very, very funny. Anyway, song's going into full swing. In the middle of us, I'm with my mic leaning around to this table of girls, what I used to be like singing to the girls and causing a bit of a laugh and that. So anyway, middle of the song, there's a huge guitar solo. So Abs gets his guitar, like literally bowls me and Mouse out of the way of the stage, walks to the front of the stage and gives it like on the Guitar Heroes guitar. The crowd is literally loving it, like they're getting engaged with it. He's there thrashing out this guitar solo. At the end of the guitar solo, he grabs this Guitar Heroes guitar by the stem, walks up to a speaker and just fucking levers it into a speaker. It doesn't break the first time, so he picks it up over his head and he's giving it crack on the floor. Blew this Guitar Hero thing into a million bits. The DJ again has given it. We need security. We need security down at the stage. The crowd is just like, what the fuck? They didn't find it funny at all. They were like, what the fuck is going on? We get absolutely levered out of this club. Anyway, we're dying with laughter. off on our night we go. This was back before, obviously, all the doormen had radios to each other, because if that had been now, we wouldn't have got in anywhere that night.
No.
But anyway, off we go on the end of the night. At the end of the night, at like 2:30 in the morning, Abs is taking a bit of cash out to get a taxi home. This woman has walked up to the back of him and literally levered him round the back of the hand with a handbag. And she's gone, I'm getting pissed off with all you tourists. Keep coming down here and ruining my town. It was so funny. Oh my God. Some of the things we used to get up to were daft. I mean, yeah, walking down the street like midday on a Saturday afternoon, sun shining, there's a load of lads walking up Newquay High Street. I remember turning around. One of the lads has picked up a dead seagull and just launched it into a shop. All these people have come running out of this shop. This fucking dead seagull's been launched in there. Just stupid stuff.
It's no wonder the locals in these towns hate having us near them, innit?
Mental. I got banned from the local taxi rank. Lisa was her name, down in Newquay. She was lovely, to be fair. So his taxi rank was like this little narrow room with seats all down one side that you'd sit in when you're waiting for your taxi. It must have been minging. We all used to sit in there eating our kebab and pizzas and stuff before going home. Absolutely rinsed drunk. Anyway, I've been down there quite a long time, so I got to know Lisa really well. Lisa used to let me in, like behind the armoured glass. There's like armoured glass and a door, and she'd like obviously talk to everyone coming through. She'd let me in. She had a little like Shetland, what they call Westie dog or whatever they call. So I used to get in there. The old CB radio they used to have in there go through to all the taxis. So I'd be like, yeah, Charlie 1, this is 0, fucking radio check over. All these taxi drivers come up. Stino's back in the fucking taxi rank then again, as per usual. Like, I'm finding it funny. She's just like, you're a knob. Anyway, sometimes she had to walk people out of the taxi rank and walk them to the taxi because they wouldn't know where they're going. So I'm pissed up one night, and in the I don't know if you'll find it funny, but I found it funny. In the back office, I had like a microwave and a fridge and that in the corner. So one night she's gone out and she's like, "Will you mind looking after the dog while I just go and take this customer up there?" I was like, yeah, no drama. I'm pissed as a fart. Anyway, she's come back down, me being pissed. I'm trying to put this dog in the microwave. She's come back. I've got loads of lads laughing through the bit of glass. I've got this Shetland dog trying to get it in the microwave. She's come back and seen it. She never ever spoke to me again. She's like, "You are fucking bad." I had to use the other taxi rank that charged an extra £2 a mile to get home. I was always getting a taxi on my own while other lads were going to Lisa for their taxi home. Cool, that was a bad one. I got in trouble for that.
Oh my God.
Quick one, another one. Come back to camp one night, and the police have got like one.
Sorry, mate, you got to give me a second.
Anyway, come back to camp one night. The police have got police dogs down at the front gate. So we're all going through, and obviously the copper's got the dog. One of the lads has walked through with a box of pizza. Give it all right, mate, to the MP copper. Got a slice of pizza, lobbed it down the road. This fucking dog, his dog is dragging his copper down the road. He got charged for that. I think he got charged. I think he had to do like a week of jankers for feeding the police dog pizza. Just stupid stuff like that we used to get up to. It was funny. We had
I'm still trying to process this fucking little dog trying to get stuffed
dog in a microwave.
Oh my God.
So these old blocks that we used to have are H blocks, aren't they? Do you remember? Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the top of it, like on. So when you walked into the block, like turn right, turn left, there'd be fire doors before you'd get into the corridor, and then a fire door at the end of the corridor. So what you could actually do is you could open all the fire doors up, and it'd be one long corridor. So one of the lads, Bestie, he got a how the fuck he done it, I don't know, but he got an air rifle on camp, and we've opened all these doors up along the corridor and set targets up at the end fire exit and we're laid down on the corridor with this air rifle, like a little 177, shooting pellets at this target. Well, the door is opened at the end, but it's at a little bit of an angle. So we didn't know this had happened. But at RF St Morgan, like the SBS used to come down there and do a bit of training that or whatever, right? So you got this fucking special troop like walking out downstairs. We're upstairs in this corridor firing pellets at this target. But one of the pellets has only hit the door, fucking gone down and hit this bloke in the shoulder. We didn't fucking know. But next morning we all got marched up to squadron. Right, who the fuck's got an air rifle in the block? And then this troop's come walking out in his kit, and he's gone, because I got fucking hit in the shoulder by walking down on the road. And we were only LACs at the time, but Bestie went white. Poor old Bestie was white as a sheet, and he had to put his hand up and say, "It's me." Fuck, he got absolutely hammered. Really, really hammered for that. Cool, yeah. But yeah, there you go, mate.
I mean, the stories are endless, aren't they? Like you say, you've touched on quite a few there, but you know, you can go on and on and on. What was I going to say? You know, like how obviously now you're like, you know, driving your truck on a day to day and stuff like that. How do you cope going from that to like the isolation in a, you know, in your cabin? Yeah. Like, I know you keep in touch with people and you know, you have a laugh whenever you can, but like, what's that like for you? Like,
I think I'm better in isolation now, to be honest.
Yeah.
I like my own company. Yeah, I do. I'm like I said back then. You know, I'm still wildly hyperactive now. So if I don't piss people off, which is what happens 99% of the time, they piss me off. So I've learned to.
Best place for you
is in isolate, like in a padded room isolation, isn't it? So yeah, I think like the other thing as well, when I left the regiment, I went and done close protection for 5 years, didn't I? And I think that really is like the perfect stepping stone because it's half, you still got to have like your military head about you, and they still treat you like you're in the military, but you're also a civvy, so the rules are relaxed. So I had like a stepping stone walking back into Civvy Street as well. And going from an environment of 130 men to then working in teams of like 8 or 12 to then doing what I do now. But yeah,
just kind of like natural stepping stone kind of thing.
And the thing is as well, like I keep my truck, like I kept my bed space back in basics. It's immaculate, and I love it. I love my job. I love my time in there. Yeah, it's good.
So like you say, it's probably the best place for you. But you know, obviously, you can see how these memories have stuck with you now. Like excited to get telling the stories. So what for you, like on a day to day, replaces that kind of buzz for you? So obviously, I know you say it's better in isolation, but obviously there's something that you know you can't really replicate.
No, you can't, and we get older as well and more mature, don't we? Yeah. So, like, I mean, it wouldn't be us doing those things. If we were both still in now, it wouldn't be me and you that is doing shit like that, would it? It would be the younger lads doing that. So, and we'd be laughing at them. But I suppose the bit that replaces like all the busyness and the, you know, and like the, you know, it was just like things would just happen, and things just used to happen relentlessly, didn't they? Do you know what I mean? It was like once one thing's done, then someone else is doing another. It's just like constant off. But when you grow up and you've got children and stuff like that, they feel the whole of, you know, you're a father yourself. That the busyness of being a father and just life in general feels the whole of all that sort of stuff that you go on a day to day. Yeah. And like, you got to remember back then as well, we didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to worry about your water bill. You know, there was so much of like things that we'd be busy with doing now. Back then, that we had done for us. We just had time on our hands, didn't we?
Yeah, you could get away with being irresponsible, couldn't you? Yeah,
you couldn't get sacked, could you?
No,
we couldn't. No. You know, I didn't know anyone that was
well.
Well, unless you take it to the extreme.
Yeah,
but you can't get sacked for like mucking about, can you?
No,
if you know what I mean.
So, you just get the punishment, don't you?
Exactly. Yeah, which was my job really, just to get punished, I think.
I think it's probably best just looking back on them now, and rather than, like you say, carrying out the same kind of things, just look back on them in fondness.
I look back at. I mean, I'm from the outside in, if anyone mentions my name, I'm sure there's a few stories that come up instantly that you think of when you go back there. But no one ever got hurt. No one ever got injured. It was just stupid and funny. It was just very, very, very funny. I mean,
the worst that had happened, like you say, a bit of a beast in here and there, or
exactly,
which we could all put up with.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
And then you laugh about it down the line, don't you? So
exactly that's what made it funny, wasn't it? And there were even times when, you know, the people that were giving you the beastings, they were laughing while they're beasting you, but they've got to be seen to be doing something, haven't they, to get you to toe the line. So so there you go. I hope that was I hope there's some funny. That was a bit lighter than what it went last time. I think it's quite important to share some stuff like that, because it wasn't all bad.
No, not at all. Like I obviously I've mentioned about, you know, difficulties that I had since, but the actual job and the people, I loved it. It was just
it is.
Yeah, the thing that I struggled with was just the fact that I didn't want it to be my life and only be my life and that be it.
You.
And that's how I saw it going down that route, the way that we had tour after tour after tour, and then I'd come home and it would be like a different world, and I didn't want that to be the case. So that's why I took the decision to get out, on top of other things. Like, I felt as though I'd done all I needed to do in that time, and I didn't like I say, I didn't want that to be the defining thing for me for the rest of my life, to be on tour, on tour, on tour.
Well,
but the work itself, the work itself, and, you know, the people in it were just brilliant. And I don't want that to be lost in anything that's said. I don't think people kind of have them thoughts anyway. Like yourself, you know, obviously your exit was forced on you for reasons why what we touched on. But you know, how much longer would you have been in there for? Would you have ever seen any way of going out or anything like that? So things happen, don't they, for a reason, I guess. And yours just took a different route.
It's a scary thought, really, because, like, to think of that, but you, like what you just to that end, what you just touched on, it's a bit. If you ended up staying much longer than what we had done and actually getting onto the rank structure, I think you start becoming a little bit institutionalized, and then it ends up defining you. And like you said, I'm things happen for a reason. I'm so lucky that happened then, and even like the way that it did. You know, if I could change the way that it did, obviously I'd change it. But it kicked me up the arse and made me go on to things that have made me what I am today. So some very, very funny stories.
Yeah, oh yeah, definitely. Like I say, that one with the dog, that'll stick with me for a long time now. I mean, I'm thinking about my two now, and I think sometimes I wouldn't mind sticking them in a frigging microwave, but
poor old Lisa, she wasn't very happy.
No, I can imagine. But no, so thanks again for coming on, mate, and sharing them. And like you say, it's always good to remember the good times, isn't it? So yeah, I appreciate it. And you know, you're always welcome to come on if ever you have someone even you want to bring on. You know, you can always do that as well. So yeah, you're always welcome.
Always good to see you, mate. Nice jumper as well, by the way.
Oh, cheers. Thank you. Nice t-shirt. Not sure how we got onto that, but there we go. Anyway, right. Oh yeah. So thanks, mate, and we'll speak again soon.
Well, mate, be good.
All right, so thanks to everyone again for watching. Like I said earlier in the show, if you ever want to be a part of it, you're more than welcome to. And we'll see you next time. So thanks again. Take care.